In California, lawyers are pushing for a possible plea agreement in the Emmanuel Haro case. The missing baby's parents, Jake and Rebecca, were in court as prosecutors and the defense try to strike a deal. It has been more than a month now since Emmanuel was reported missing. His parents were arrested days later and are pleading not guilty. His body has not been found. Emmanuel's mom, Rebecca, had initially reported him missing in August. She told police at the time she was assaulted in a parking lot in California and that the baby was kidnapped. Investigators say her story was inconsistent and it didn't add up. In 2018, Emmanuel's father, Jake, had a suspended sentence for a separate child abuse case, leaving his then 10-month-old daughter permanently disabled. In 2023, he pled guilty to willful child cruelty and was given 6 years probation. He allegedly violated that parole, was arrested, and then let go after posting bail. That prompted criticism from the Riverside DA.
It was an outrageous error in judgment by this judge. And I don't have any problem saying that. I'm not attacking the judge personally. That decision was absolutely outrageous. Mr. Haro should have been in prison at the time that this crime happened. And if that judge had done his job as he should have done, Emmanuel would be alive today. And that's a shame, and it's an outrage. And I hate to say that, but when our criminal justice system breaks down, I'm going to just call it like it is and tell you it broke down. It's not how it's supposed to work.
Former federal prosecutor and partner at Jones Walker LLP, David Weinstein, is with us this morning. Do you agree? I mean, did the system fail this little boy letting his dad out?
I'm not sure what failed this little boy. Marni, even if he had been put back in, there's no telling if he had been released. We also don't know whether the alleged abuse took place at the hands of the father or the mother. If the mother's just part of a cover-up. We know that the father has a prior history of child abuse, a conviction for that. And so, yes, it would appear that based on the facts we know, the system has failed this little child, but there's no telling if it might not have happened even if the father had been punished more severely for what had occurred.
How much more difficult is it for the prosecution to get a conviction in this case, or to approach how their legal argument without a body?
It's not impossible, but it certainly makes things more difficult because the allegations here are that the child died because of abuse and neglect. That means they're going to have to present evidence that predated the disappearance of the child. If they had recovered the body of the child, they'd have some evidence. They'd be able to have a medical examiner testify as to what the cause of death was. So it's not an easy case. It's certainly a circumstantial case, and that gives a little bit of leverage to the defense in terms of what they're seeking on their side. But for the prosecution, you've got a prior conviction of the father for similar events. You have the mother who gave a story that turned out not to be true. And so each side has a little bit of leverage. I don't think that the punishment is going to be as severe as it would have been had there been a body that was recovered.
So there's talk of a plea deal for both parents, and both legal teams are seemingly working something out. Would that be in exchange for information about what happened to him or where he is?
Well, that's certainly always an element in any plea negotiation or any bargain, acceptance of responsibility. If they're going to enter a plea of guilty, or even one where they don't contest the charges and plead no contest, they're going to have to step up at the time of sentencing and accept responsibility, or the judge is certainly going to be a lot harsher on them, and the prosecution is not going to recommend anything but a more severe punishment. So I certainly think they're going to have to cooperate and give some information as to what happened and where the body was located. There were earlier reports that the father was out with police in a field, perhaps assisting them towards that end. So absolutely, Marni, they're going to have to step up and accept responsibility.
What a tragic case. It appears the preliminary hearing or another hearing for this case has now been pushed to October, when the parents will next appear. David, thank you for your time.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.